Toledo, 1835. 1,000 Michigan militia troops marching toward Ohio. And the only war casualty? A deputy sheriff stabbed with a penknife. Welcome back to Arthur Lee's Adventures. I'm Arthur Lee, and we're 13 states deep into our journey across America's hidden history. Today, we're exploring Michigan. And honestly, this state has been hiding some incredible secrets. From corporate battles that lasted 50 years to official government investigations into Bigfoot, Michigan's past is anything but ordinary. I've uncovered 10 incredible facts about the Great Lakes state. We'll start with number 10 and work our way up to the most mind-blowing revelation at number 1. If you're new here, welcome to the adventure. That subscribe button helps more than you know. Trust me, you will not want to miss what's coming. Fact number 10. On May 18, 1927, the deadliest school disaster in United States history occurred in Bath Township, Michigan. Andrew Kehoe, the school board treasurer, detonated explosives he had secretly planted in Bath Consolidated School. 44 people died, including 38 children. Kehoe had spent months placing dynamite in the basement while serving on the school board. He was furious about property taxes and facing foreclosure on his farm. That morning, he first killed his wife and destroyed his farm buildings. Then he drove to the school and detonated a second bomb in his car, killing himself and several others, including the school superintendent. The Bath School disaster remains a tragic reminder of how personal grievances can lead to unthinkable violence. Coming in at number 9. The Calumet Theater in Michigan's Upper Peninsula wasn't just any small-town venue. When it opened in 1900, this 1,200-seat theater was hosting some of the biggest names in entertainment. John Philip Sousa performed there in 1901. The legendary Sarah Bernhardt graced its stage in 1906. Douglas Fairbanks Sr. appeared in 1912, all in tiny Calumet, Michigan. How did a remote mining town attract such world-class talent? Copper. The Calumet and Hecla Mining Company had made this one of America's wealthiest communities per capita. They built a $75,000 theater with electric lighting and steam heat. And honestly, that investment paid off. The theater still operates today as a National Historic Landmark. Number 8 takes us into truly weird territory. In 1964, the Michigan Conservation Department officially investigated Bigfoot sightings in Newaygo County. I'm not making this up. Conservation Officer Harold Hinton filed formal reports after multiple witnesses reported encounters with a 7-foot-tall creature near Baldwin. The investigation found unexplained footprints measuring 17 inches long. 17 inches. For perspective, the average human foot is about 10 inches. Multiple credible witnesses, including local residents and law enforcement, reported sightings in March and April near the Manistee National Forest. The state took it seriously enough to conduct an official investigation. They never found conclusive evidence of the creature's existence. But those 17-inch footprints? They never explained those either. Ready for number 7? This one still amazes me. From 1957 to 1967, Michigan operated a secret experimental nuclear reactor near Monroe that suffered a partial meltdown. The Enrico Fermi Nuclear Generating Station was testing plutonium-fueled fast breeder technology when disaster struck on October 5, 1966. A loose metal fragment blocked coolant flow, causing 2 fuel assemblies to melt. The scary part? This accident was kept secret from the public for months. No radiation was released, but the reactor never operated again. The incident was so significant it inspired the book We Almost Lost Detroit by John Fuller in 1975. Picture this, a nuclear meltdown just 30 miles from Detroit. And most people never knew it happened. We're in the top 5 now, and it only gets better. Number 6. During Prohibition, Detroit's Purple Gang controlled 75% of illegal liquor entering the United States from Canada. 75%. They were earning an estimated $215 million annually. That's over $3 billion in today's money. The gang, led by the Bernstein brothers, operated from 106 East Alexandrine Street in Detroit. They dominated rum running across the Detroit River from Windsor, Ontario. Their violence peaked with the Collingwood Manor Massacre on September 16, 1931, when they killed 3 rival gang members. The Purple Gang wasn't just a local crime syndicate. They were running one of America's largest smuggling operations right under the government's nose. And now for number 5. Here's where it gets really interesting. Will Keith Kellogg and Dr. John Harvey Kellogg fought in court for 50 years over cornflakes. 50 years. These brothers accidentally created cornflakes in 1894 at the Battle Creek Sanitarium when they left cooked wheat sitting out overnight. John wanted to keep the discovery non-commercial for health purposes at his sanitarium. Will saw massive business potential. In 1906, Will founded the Battle Creek Toasted Cornflake Company while his brother ran the sanitarium. Their legal battle didn't end until the 1940s, with Will retaining commercial rights. Think about that for a second. A breakfast cereal sparked a half-century family war. And honestly, Will's vision of turning health food into a commercial empire changed how America eats breakfast forever. All right, we're in the top 4. This next fact changed how I see Michigan forever. On September 5, 1881, the Great Thumb Fire consumed 1.2 million acres across Michigan's Thumb region in a single day. 1.2 million acres. That's larger than Delaware. The fire killed 282 people and generated winds exceeding 100 miles per hour with temperatures over 2,000 degrees Fahrenheit. Entire towns like Croswell and Bad Axe were incinerated. The disaster occurred during an extreme drought following extensive logging that left slash piles throughout the region. Railroad sparks likely ignited the blaze. This catastrophe prompted Michigan's first systematic forest fire prevention efforts and led to the creation of the Michigan Forest Commission in 1899. Sometimes it takes a disaster to change how we protect our natural resources. Number 3 brings us to an incredible story of courage and determination. Sojourner Truth lived in Battle Creek, Michigan from 1857 until her death in 1883. She owned a house at 38 College Street and became deeply involved in the Civil War effort. Truth helped recruit black soldiers for the Union Army and personally met with President Abraham Lincoln at the White House on October 29, 1864. She traveled throughout Michigan giving speeches and raised funds to support the 1st Michigan Colored Infantry Regiment. After the war, she worked with freed slaves in Washington and advocated for black land ownership in Kansas. Truth chose Michigan to be near Seventh-day Adventist communities, and the state became her base for fighting injustice across America. Her Michigan years were some of her most impactful. Buckle up for this next one. On August 13, 1941, Henry Ford demonstrated a prototype automobile with 14 body panels made from soybeans, wheat, hemp, flax, and ramie. Yes, you heard that right. Henry Ford built a car from plants. The car weighed 2,000 pounds compared to 3,000 pounds for steel cars and could allegedly withstand sledgehammer blows. Ford had invested heavily in soybean research, owning 8,000 acres of soybean fields by 1940. The project aimed to help American farmers by creating industrial uses for crops. World War II and Ford's death in 1947 ended the hemp car project. Only one prototype was ever built. Imagine if that experiment had succeeded. We might be driving plant-based cars today instead of steel ones. And now, the moment you've been waiting for. Number 1. Michigan and Ohio fought an actual war from April 1835 to December 1836. The Toledo War lasted 468 days, and Michigan mobilized 1,000 militia troops. But here's the incredible part. The only casualty was Deputy Sheriff Joseph Wood of Michigan, who was stabbed with a penknife on April 26, 1835, near Phillips Corners, Ohio. A penknife. That was the extent of the violence in America's most civilized war. The conflict arose over a 468-square-mile strip of land containing Toledo. President Andrew Jackson sided with Ohio for political reasons. Ohio had 19 electoral votes compared to Michigan's 3. Michigan received statehood and the entire Upper Peninsula as compensation on January 26, 1837. Looking back, Michigan got the better deal. The Upper Peninsula contains vast mineral wealth and natural beauty that far exceeds Toledo's value. From the deadliest school disaster in American history to a war fought over Toledo that ended with a penknife wound, Michigan has proven it's anything but ordinary. Which of these facts surprised you the most? Drop your answer in the comments. I'd love to hear your thoughts on the Toledo War. Did Michigan really get the better deal with the Upper Peninsula? If you want to discover more hidden stories like these, subscribe and hit that bell. I release new adventures every week exploring America's forgotten history. Next time, we're heading to a state with an even wilder history. Trust me, fact number 3 on that list had me researching for hours. Thanks for joining me on another adventure. Until next time, keep exploring.